I believe in second chances. So often pain keeps us back. Whenever someone is injured or hurt, they feel like they've lost out on a part of their life, and something is lost. When I was 3 years old, I almost lost my life. I was in an orphanage, very sickly, and my father and mother, Brian and Elizabeth Keefe, gave me a true second chance at life by adopting me and making me their son and a part of their family. So I really dedicate my life, everything I'm doing here, to them. I love you, Mom and Dad.
My name is Nancy Reinhardt. I've been a chiropractor for 31 years. My niece Haley was in a great deal of pain. Her neck was going into spasm, and as a chiropractor, usually if I adjust people, stretch, rub some muscles, I can usually bring them out of an average neck spasm. But as an avid volleyball player, there's a lot of impact. So she came in one day with neck pain, and then I treated her a little bit. She came in the next day. Even though I'd helped her, she was in more pain. So this was going on for 3 or 4 days where I wasn't helping her one bit, even as gentle and conscientious as I could be with my niece. So Javier happened to be here and observed that she was in a lot of pain. So he helped her instantly. Within about an hour, she was almost symptom-free. She had been in so much pain, it was frightening her, and she had actually been crying because she didn't know what was happening with her neck. So this was just an astounding testimony to me that what Javier does is quite powerful. It's very, very real and very concrete. The effect that he had on my knee was almost complete relief for her. And then over the next 3 or 4 days, any residual symptoms faded and they never came back again. She's never had that condition again. I think what Javier is actually doing is releasing neurological blockages, neurological impedances. There are physiologic aspects to our body that flow, and when we don't flow, we don't heal. When we don't flow, we're not nourished. When he uses his gift to unleash that flow, there's a natural wholesomeness, there's a natural physiologic healing, and he happens to have a gift. I think that it's a gift that came through compassion, that in his own problems, he had compassion on the world and realizes how to help people through a very, very special sensitivity. It's just an excellent way to help the body help itself.
I'm a marathon runner. I've run 104 marathons. I've run in every state in the United States. Last summer when I developed an injury, I immediately went to a doctor and was diagnosed with a partial tear of my Achilles. The doctor informed me that it would be a 4 to 6 month recovery. I tried everything and nothing was working. As a matter of fact, things became worse to where I almost could not walk. About that time, a friend of mine told me about Javier. After 3 sessions, I was able to walk normal. I was able to do a little jogging. By October, I was able to train again to compete in this race that I had signed up for way back about a year earlier. Flew to Antarctica, and actually I won the race in Antarctica. 2 days later, we ran a race in South America, another marathon, and I won that one as well. I could have never not only finished the race, but won the races without Javier's help.
I went in for a slide tackle, and I felt a strong pop on my hamstring. After that pop, I couldn't even walk, I couldn't even stand. I had to have my teammates help me out. I went to go see the trainer, the campus trainer for the school. She saw that nothing was improving, and then one day she just told me, "Do you just want to end your season here today?" Eventually, my coach told me to go to Javier. Right away, I was able to walk. I felt like magic just touched. I was able to walk. I was able to to sleep, which was something that I was struggling every night because I couldn't sleep. Second session, I was able to jog, something like never thought I would enjoy again. And then I had practice that day, and I made a tackle where pretty much that was the way how I got hurt. Made the tackle, and I didn't feel no pain. Pretty much I was smiling the whole time when I did that. Is this really me right now?
I injured my shoulder lifting a heavy tote of water from a bad angle with one arm, and it tore my rotator cuff in my shoulder. I went to the doctor. They gave me a steroid shot in my shoulder, forced my arm to move it around. It was excruciating. The next step with the doctors was going to be surgery with 6 months recovery after surgery. So that's when I met Javier. My arm for 6 days had been locked, or any movement was very painful. After the first session, I could move it down. By the second, I had more mobility. By the third, I had even more. And by the fourth, 100% back. After that, we were considering doing a 5th session, but I was walking up the stairs and I fell and had to use my injured arm to grab the railing and pull myself back up. And I realized that I was back and I had strength. It was a little sore, but I had gone back to 100%.
I had 3 positions in my back that were hurting me and bothering me because about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had lifted something the wrong way, and that's all it took when I was bent over. But after he worked on my back in those 3 areas, he was able to get rebalanced again. I was able to do everything 100% after that. I had neuropathy, had problems standing for a length of time, moving my feet or my toes or whatever, because they were stiffer and my toes were stiff, and I had some, like a pins and needles effect sometimes in my toes. Well, since Javier worked on me only 2 times, 2 sessions, my pins and needles in my toe is almost completely gone, and I can stand on my feet, walk. And I went to the doctor about 1.5 years ago, and the doctor diagnosed me with this hernia. The bottom line with the hernia was either surgery or you just live with what you have. But what I've noticed is since he has worked on me and rebalanced me over these 4 or 5 sessions, now that has gone down probably 70 to 80%. So I don't have that discomfort like I did.
About 20 years ago, I had come down an attic staircase, a pull-down staircase, and fell. Injured my leg. I was told that I need a knee replacement because it's bone on bone and it's painful. Since I've gone to Javier, I've gone to 4 sessions, and he has really helped me immensely. I can walk up and down stairs. I can bend over. I mean, I could walk. I couldn't even do that. It was excruciating pain.
A year ago in December, I started noticing pain in my shoulder. But the neurosurgeon said he could not help me. It would just be pain management, that he could prescribe for me. I started on a regular weekly basis with Javier, and it just kept getting better and better. All of a sudden, one day I saw that there was no more pain in the shoulder, and the neck was feeling much, much better.
I injured my lumbar and my neck about 20 years ago. I'd go to the chiropractor to have him adjust me, and that would help, but it would never be permanent. So I would go home at the end of the day and not be able to clean my house or take care of, normal stuff. I just wanted to sit and relax. And it was getting to the point of where I would need to go to a surgeon to take care of those discs. And then I met Javier, and within 3 sessions, the discs have gone back in place and they're not bulging anymore. And I'm able to sleep on my right side without any migraines and without any headaches.
About 30 years ago, I had a trampoline accident, and the result of that injury, I had a lower back pain that was constant, pretty much constant pain. Went to a chiropractor for 30 to 40 years, got temporary results, ended up later on having an MRI on my back, and it showed I had bulging disc and some arthritis in there. And after about 5 to 6 sessions with Javier, woke up in the morning for the first time in 30 years, pain-free.
It started probably about 6 years ago when I was going to a local gym, and I felt like I pulled something in my right shoulder. And then my back started hurting, so I went to a chiropractor, and I would feel good for a couple of days, and then I would not feel good again. I was making no progress and just going and not getting any help, so I stopped that. When I went to Harvey the first time, I felt extremely terrible. After my first session, I was completely different, physically, mentally. My quality of life before Javier was very, very poor, and my quality of life now, I will say it's excellent. I went from sitting on the couch, crippled, to exercising, walking, jogging, and full activity. 7 years ago, my husband fell in the driveway on his right shoulder directly onto the pavement. And since then, he has had a lot of pain and hardly any range of motion, which has affected his ability in a lot of jobs that he has to do. He kept putting off going to a physician because he figured all they were going to do was some sort of surgery, and he didn't want that. So we went to Javier, and right after that session, he had 90% range of motion and a pain level of 2. He can now throw a football, which he couldn't do. So he went from almost 0 range of motion in his shoulder to the ability to raise, lift, and rotate that arm to throw a football. There's another problem that he had, and it was his knee. He went to an orthopedic surgeon, and he told them that he needed ligament replacement in his knee. And his knee was about the size of a honeydew melon with no range of motion. When he went and saw Harvey, he dramatically changed. That swelling came right down to almost nothing, and he was walking with his legs straight like a peg leg, and now he walks and he can bend his knee. And his pain with his knee went from probably a 10, maybe down to a 3 or 4 at this point. And that was only with 1 session on the shoulder and the knee.
Hello, my name is Javier Keefe. I'm here in Athens, Tennessee, and I'm a light touch therapist. I'd like to give a little background of who I am and why I do what I do. And it's simply an understanding and relationship of having a second chance. I believe a lot of people are suffering and are in pain and incapable of fulfilling their dreams. Even if their dreams are as simple as being able to walk through life and enjoy a pain-free life, or to the level of being a professional athlete and giving their very best to perform at a high level and win a championship with their team. When I was an athlete playing varsity sports in high school, I had injured my knee both in football and wrestling, and it really broke my heart. And so I greatly and truly understand and have the compassion to put myself in the shoes of that athlete that has been striving and giving everything they can to fulfill their dream and has to have had to come up short because of an injury where they could not perform at the level that they know they truly can and at the best version of themselves because of the lack of their strength, range of motion, and overall health due to their injury. After graduating from the Cleveland Massage Institute, I was all excited to go home to Natick, Massachusetts, and give my family massages to show them what I learned. Right at that time, I was playing with my niece and rolled on my shoulder. Something major was wrong because I couldn't even lift my arm without pain. I could not touch my shoulder without pain. I could not even lay down. I had to sit up in a chair And for multiple days, I was unable to rest. And I was very, very concerned because I couldn't imagine anyone touching my shoulder or being able to do anything to fix me. And that really got me interested and got me to be intrigued to find out what can be done for a person who has hurt themselves so bad that you can't even touch them. And the investigation just continued, the passion continued, and I started to look and ask questions and find out the fundamentals of how the body works and how to fix these things that just seemed to be unfixable. And that's when I really got in touch with and really understood the basis of the electrical system and how the internal healing system, or as anyone who's opened up an anatomy book in the first chapter has learned about homeostasis, the body's ability to find balance and true health, and how tapping into that natural energy and internal healing system can be used in a non-invasive, light touch method to be able to allow the person to basically fix themselves. So I don't consider myself to have any magic skills or abilities. It's really the superhero in this is really the creation of the body, the natural body's ability to fix itself. And that's what I love, and that's what I'm involved in, is seeing the client, the injured person, being able to use their own internal healing system to do for them what it was made to do, which is to get them on track and become healthy and get them to the place of true balance and health as if the injury never occurred.